Hello and welcome to the Busy Bug Homestead on a very early morning for me to be outside, honestly. But we are going to be doing a harvest and preparation kind of video today because we have been up and down with our weather, and we hit the 80s a couple of times but then plunged back down into the low temperatures, and it sent a lot of my stuff bolting. But the stuff that didn't bolt is probably going to bolt this weekend because we are going from decent mild like 60-degree nights straight up into the 90s. Today is going to be our first day in the 90s. There's a heat index warning out. So we have the next 3 days in really high temperatures and then back down next week into the 70s. So I'm going to prepare by covering some stuff. My cauliflower and my broccoli is not ready yet. I'm going to try and put a shade cover over it and try and lessen the effects of the heat on that patch. And then all of my lettuce and my kale is coming out because my spinach already bolted in the round of 80s that we had. My radishes are bolting from that as well. So I'm going to try and salvage what I can of my cold crops while I can, because even if my lettuce and stuff doesn't bolt, it's not going to taste very good after these like ridiculously high heat days. So we're going to harvest that now, and I'm going to show you what I have right here. All right, so down in this bed right here, I have the majority of the lettuce we're going to be working with. I started this from seed back in January, but I have this beautiful Merlot lettuce. My daughters helped me plant it, so it's a little thick, but that's perfectly fine for what we're going to be doing. It is at the perfect height for starting to cut and come again. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut it, and then if it grows back, great. If we get some cooler weather again. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's also fine. There's also, I had calendula here last year and it reseeded itself. So that's this pops of green coming out of here. That's the calendula that is in the spaces that the kids missed with the seeds. Down here, I have the May Queen lettuce. I'm also going to be taking these because these are ready to go. They're little tiny heads of lettuce. From what I understand, this is, oh, we have a bumblebee over here. He's out early. It's been raining all night. These are a variety they would grow like when they first started coming to this country for like colonial type gardening. So that's exciting. I like that I grew something like that. I didn't know that until I started looking up the harvesting, just so I knew that I had the correct information for when I went to harvest this morning. And it's still really cold. This should be nice, crisp, and sweet lettuce still. If we let it go through this weekend, it's going to be bitter and tough, and it's not going to be great. But I'm going to harvest some of these bigger heads of this today. And then also, in addition to that, I'm gonna be harvesting this kale up here. Now, I didn't show this in a video because I was just so excited. I just planted it up and I didn't show it. This is my new green stalk, and it's beautiful. I got it in the November sale. And I have carrots going down here. I've got some strawberries. My youngest has already been plucking all the strawberries off of this thing. She's been eating it as much as she possibly can get her hands on. Some of my chard here, this is the chard that was looking pathetic in the seed room. I put it in here and it's been fantastic. But some of it is getting these leaf spots. I don't know, like it's on a lot of them. So I'll probably just pull this and just salvage what I can for salad greens also. But the strawberries will be fine to stay in. I'm going to prune off the ones that have leaf spot, and I'm going to be spraying the whole yard for leaf spot as soon as this rain goes away. We've had rain on and off for weeks now, so has not been great for spraying. As soon as I spray it, all washes off. But yeah, the carrots haven't filled in yet, but I'm gonna pull all this kale, get this out of here, pull this, get this out of here, and then I'll be ready to plant something else in there, which I have plenty of things to plant in there. And down here you can see all of my cabbage. They're not supposed to be that tall. These cabbages are already bolting, so that's unfortunate because I've had these in here since I planted these in November, I think. I've had these in here for a while, just kind of waiting. And last year they did fine, but this year that heat got real quick. It got in here, so I'm just gonna pull. I might let this bolt and then take the seeds from it. But some of the other ones that are doing the same thing, I'm just gonna pull out, give space to something else that's gonna grow to feed us. And out here we also have our strawberry bed. This will be fine. No red strawberries on it because my kids got to it yesterday, so they plucked all the red strawberries off and ate them in the garden. Which is the reason I grow strawberries. Like, I like having it for jams and stuff, but I love it when they come in and just snack their way around the yard. Garlic is still doing great. Turnips are way too thick. I keep trying to thin them out and then more seeds pop up. This is another one I let the kids help me plant, and they are real thick. But the peas are starting to come up, but they're also succumbing to this spot because we've been so cool and rainy that everything is just affected by it. So I'm gonna have to spray, and what I can't spray I'll have to pull, or what I can't get to recover. We've been picking radishes. Those don't, the red radishes, the early scarlet and the French dressing don't seem to be bolting at all yet. So I've been pulling those, and I have some in the fridge to go with my salad greens. These are the wasabi radishes. They're bolting ready. And they haven't even formed roots yet. They're just bolting. So that's going to have to come out. Yeah, and these, they never formed heads. I might take some of these leaves and chill them and then try and use them for like wraps. Just to salvage it a little bit, because these are pristine. I had these covered from the beginning. There is no caterpillar damage on them. They are beautiful. And I'm really sad that I did not get any of this cabbage, because we love cabbage. And I was looking forward to storing it because I had good success with blanching and freezing last year, but what can you do when the heat comes in that quickly? These still look like they're doing okay, but they're probably going to bolt after this weekend. There's not much I can do to salvage that. So anyway, let's get to harvesting this lettuce, and then we'll talk. All right, so I'm just going to take this knife just a regular kitchen knife, and I'm going to go in here and just cut down at the bottom and put as much of this lettuce in this bowl I have sitting over here, which I can move here. I didn't use this trellising for the green stalk for actual trellising, but it's worked great for holding a lot of stuff. I ignore the pajama pants. I didn't even bother getting dressed this morning. I just came outside and decided we are going to be doing this since it's going to be hot soon. I don't know if you could see where I'm coming in with the knife. Right down here at the base. I'm going to come in and just start cutting it. I do have to be mindful of the calendulas down here, though. I do have some baby calendulas growing in, and I'm just going to let them grow because I grew them for the first time last year, and they kept until the cold came. They were so great to have in the garden. Like when it started getting really cold and I started getting, that seasonal blues because it's getting cold, they were there. They were there to be a nice, beautiful orangey yellow color in my garden, so I love that. Now cutting them like this where you can still see the root down there, that might give them the chance to come again, which is the cut and come again thing. I'm going to leave some of these little guys here. They're not quite big enough. This Marlowe lettuce I got I believe I got it as a free seed packet from Baker's Creek. I had no intention of doing that much lettuce this year because I bought the May Queen, and then I had a little bit left over from a different type of red lettuce. I'll have to look and see what it was. I had the packet in my seed buckets, but I wasn't intending on doing that much lettuce this year because we don't eat a lot of salads, but this one just looked so pretty. I thought, why not try it? Because it was a different variety. And I think the reason for that is all of my thought processes about salads come from lettuce you buy at the grocery store, which does not have the flavor. This has a lot of flavor. I have my bowl full of the red Merlot lettuce. There's a little bit left. You can see I have my little roots still stuck in there. See if they come up with some more. I'm leaving the calendula because calendula is beautiful. And I'm going to leave this here, which is fine. And I'm going to go... I need another bowl, so I'm going to go grab another bowl, and then I can cut this here. And then we can move on to our kale. Okay, so our little May Queen lettuce here. These I'm going to also cut from the bottom and just kind of harvest as one little head here as best I can. They are very tight little bunches, and I think there is probably more than one in each. I'm just going to come up underneath it. Just, there we go. Oop, roly-poly bug got stuck in there. But yeah, just little bunches of lettuce. Another roly-poly bug. Apparently they like this. I mean, I guess it's nice and damp under there, so yeah, they probably would. I'll have to make sure I clean this off good so we're not eating roly-polies, because I would really prefer not to do that. All right, now the rest of these are kind of little. I'm just going to leave these in here, and if they bolt, I'll collect seed. This way I have seed for next year. Maybe I'll get some kind of weird like hybrid between these and the Merlot. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that would only happen if they both bolted and were cross-pollinated. So we'll see. I left a little bit of this and a little bit of that. All right, let's move on to the kale. So my intention for the kale is to rip the whole thing out of here because I am going to reuse these. So I'm not really worrying too much about leaving the root in to cut and come again. This is pretty much going to be it for the kale for me. Like some of these leaves have that bacteria on it. I'm not going to even bring those in the house. I'm just going to come up underneath, kind of cut these as best I can, and then we'll have our little sprigs of kale. What I like the most about these green stalks, which I'm sure they're all over gardening channels, so I'm sure everybody has seen the green stalks. What I like the most is that they keep my food off of the dirt. Oh. Well, this has bugs. So apparently keeping it out of the dirt doesn't matter. See these little, if you can see my hand. Little tiny bugs. They're like an aphid maybe, which is gross. That's something we need to get in control. Okay, I have to figure out what those were because they weren't your typical aphids. They were kind of like, they almost look like they were covered in powdery mildew. So I have to figure out what those are. But this one seems okay. I don't see any on this. They are, if you know what these teeny tiny little things are, these is a regular aphid or is this something that only affects the soil? I have not seen these before. They're kind of powdery looking. I wonder if that's causing my greater issue. All right, so this entire pocket's gonna get completely taken its soil out. Do I have them anywhere else? Okay, so they are in fact the type of aphid. I just did some quick research and they are about to go into this garbage bag because I don't want them anywhere else in my green stalk. So, might look a little crazy. I'm about to take a glove and a Walmart trash bag or Walmart grocery bag and I'm just gonna take all of this soil straight out of here. All right, it looks like we got them all so we can continue harvesting our kale. I'm going to double knot this and get rid of it because aphids, if you don't get rid of them when you see them, they will spread so quickly. I'm sure any avid gardener knows. I should have known what they were, but I'm only used to seeing the green ones. Apparently they come in different colors. All right. All right, back to our regularly scheduled gardening project here. Hopefully we won't come across any other friends. Okay, I'm just going to harvest the rest of this kale. I really should get a proper knife for this because this little kitchen knife is great and all, but it's not serrated, so I can't like saw through it. I might need to get me one of those, what are they, the hori-horis? I've always seen those on people's gardening channels and I want one so bad. I just haven't found the right one yet. last pocket. And so far, I've only found aphids in that one. Oh, there's my stake that told me this was kale. Got lost down in there. I used to not like kale, and I used to not grow kale because I didn't like to eat it. Apparently you're supposed to massage it, which I didn't know in the beginning, but I do know now, to kind of break it up because it's just kind of tough and bitter. But I massage it now, which sounds a little strange, but it tastes much better. Like, I was fine cooking it, but I was having troubles just eating it fresh in salads until I found an article about kind of crunching it and breaking up like a little bit of the membrane here, and I'm making it actually edible. All right, I got my second big old bowl of beautiful here. The kale's taking over the top. The May Queen is underneath down here, but yeah, that's our bowl of beautiful for this morning. And I'm going to be using this in salads for the next couple of days until we are out of salad greens. I do have more salad stuff up in the upper yard. Out of this fence, I can't go upstairs. My stairs to this retaining wall haven't been built yet to go up through that gate. I'd have to go around, and it's a whole process. But up here, I planted that really sad lettuce that got packed in by snow that was in my cabbage video. I think that's the video it appeared in. It rebounded and it's starting to make heads, and I'm not ready to let it go. So I'm going to be putting a shade cover over it, seeing if I can't get it to kind of limp through. My cabbage over here, somehow through the net, got eaten up by pests. The net was standing up tall, now it's not. I'm thinking the birds keep landing on it and that tubing just wasn't holding it up. I need to get some more of those metal frames that I have down here in this yard. But I have a feeling I'll probably lose, after these next 3 days of 90s, I'll lose the cabbage. I'll probably end up losing the celery that hasn't grown fast enough, which is sad. It's a tough gardening year when you were in the right time frame, but weather just does what it does. But yeah, I'm gonna hopefully protect this stuff because I'm gonna put the shade cover up and see if I can't limp this section along because it just got planted. Potatoes are doing great though on the other side. We'll do a full garden tour pretty soon here. I've started putting in some summer stuff up there, so there's a lot going on. I was going to film a lot of it, but a lot of it I've been doing while fighting the wind and the rain, and I have been out here in the pouring rain doing stuff. Yeah, our season has been everywhere. The weather's been nuts. So, but right now I already have my lettuce that we just cut, the Merlot lettuce, up in the colander in the kitchen. I'm about to go spray that down, just regular wash it, let it soak for a little bit, kind of tenderize it. I'm gonna go do the same to these and hopefully have a beautiful salad for this evening, and hopefully this next couple of days of hot don't end up killing my garden because I've got a lot of stuff going on and I don't want to lose it. That's the heartbreaking part about gardening. It's one of those things where in your mind you're like, oh yeah, this will be easy. I'm just going to go outside and tend to my plants, and I'm going to water, and then all of a sudden you get excessive heat, then excessive cold, then more excessive heat, and then hail comes and bugs come, and whatever this leaf spot is that I'm getting everywhere shows up. It's been a rough season. Some years I have it easy, some years everything seems to be going up against me. But we keep powering through because what else are you gonna do? You already started. You already spent the money. You might as well keep going. So yeah, see, I gotta get this under control. I don't know. I know what's causing this. It's the excessive rain and cold. Unfortunately, the heat that's coming will not reverse it. It'll just keep spreading. So I had to come in here and clip all this and get rid of all this shard. And I'm going to probably take a little bit of this shard for our salads too, the stuff that's not affected, because there is some, maybe not, there was some last night that wasn't affected. I guess that rain kind of pushed that to the brink. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. And if you grew any salad greens this year and you're rushing to get them out like me, are you in the Northern Virginia area ready for this 90-degree heat? Drop a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. So yeah, anyway, until next time. Bye. One last thing. I know I said bye already. One last thing. This is how insane our rain has been. This entire thing is full of weeds, and I just planted it, and they came up through my straw mulch. I'm about to come in and weed some more of this today before I cover it with the shade cloth and put down some more mulch. Yeah. Yep. That's how my season's going. Bye.